Welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars, where we fix real problems and save real money. If you're new here, my name is Craig, where we show you how to fix your vehicle, save some money, understand what you're doing and how to move forward through that process. Most importantly, we're going to talk about why a tool like this one can help you stop guessing and start diagnosing. So most people start their toolbox with sockets and wrenches and screwdrivers and pretty much everything you need. And electronic diagnostic tools are something that's really important. Most of us have that little tiny gauge with the two prongs, and we can test a 12-volt circuit, and that's all good. But for a few dollars more, this one I believe was $39.99 plus tax. It used to be about $100, but the price has come down because more people are making them. But usually electronic diagnostic tools come later, and a lot of what we deal with in our cars have to do with the electrical system in a car, especially the newer ones. Everywhere you look on a modern vehicle, electrical problems exist. You've got headlights, fog lights, you've got fuel pumps, fans, relays, motors, sensors, wiring, grounds, and all kinds of stuff in the electrical system. So that's where one of these comes in really, really handy. I've worked with VDIAG before. I love this tester that I got years ago, and it updates on its own, but it's a really good product for a really good price. And I use it religiously. I've got a bunch of other, low-cost testers, but this thing takes the cake when it comes to testing. And so they sent me this one to check out. And number one, I like free stuff. And number two, I like to check new things out and see what we've got. I do have one of these that's very advanced, but it's good to have one that's real basic like this. I shouldn't say it's basic. It tests all kind of stuff. But, when something stops working, replacing parts until something fixes can hurt your wallet really hard. A circuit tester and probe like this gets us to know a little bit more about the questions that we're asking of the vehicle. So things like, do I have voltage? Do I have a ground? Is there continuity? What is the resistance? Is the polarity correct? Do I have the wires backwards? Does the component work if I actually activate it? Those questions are what take us from guessing to diagnosis. So let's open up this package and see what it comes with. And we open it up. It comes with your instruction manual, of course. Let's set this aside. So it comes very basic. Well, I shouldn't say basic. It is a nifty little tool, so let's move the tray over. You can get yourself a little case or something to put this in. One of the things that I immediately like on this is the cable length. A lot of the times if we're checking something back in the back of the car, you've got to have enough cable to get there because these do run off your battery and allow you to test circuits, but you've got to have a way to get back there to test it. And sometimes dragging a cable back there can be kind of tough. So that's a really nice feature, is the long cord to get to the battery from the back. When you're working on things like trailer lighting, say you want to test your trailer lights, this long cord will help you do that. So you can reach all the way back to the trailer lighting, the taillights, a fuel pump, or a circuit, something that's back there nowadays that you can't get to from, with just your little test light kind of thing. So the long cable means you stay connected directly to the battery, and you're still able to reach a large portion of the vehicle. So another nice feature, let's get this taken out. One of the good things is is the easy working mode switch. Instead of having a complicated menu system with tons of buttons like you would on some of those big testers, this one is really simple for the beginning, and that's what matters. Diagnostic equipment doesn't do you much good if it's so complicated you can't figure out how to use it. It probably took me weeks to figure out how to use my voltage tester because it has so many features. But this one, you click up and down, got the on-off button with the LED switch. It has to have power, of course, and that's what these two cables are. Is you hook it to your battery and it powers it up for you. Let's see if this one has power. So Easy way to check this one is we'll connect this to our negative. Oop, like so. And like I say, this is my first time using it too, so you guys are going to find out with me. This is something you're going to use all the time. Boy, you could tell these clippies are new. Let me pull it up a little bit. There we go. And clip it on there in the negative, and then we'll touch it on the positive. And it looks to me like this battery may be dead. Let's turn it on. Nope. I bet you that battery's dead. Let's try hooking the 12 volt up. So we got our positive on one side. We put our negative on the other side. We're going to see if it's got enough power to fire up this meter and turn it on. And it does not. So hang on a minute. I'm going to go get a battery I know is good. But that just tells me this battery is no good. So I've already solved one issue. This can go away. So let me pull these little covers off. Negative and hot. Now this is a sealed lead acid battery, so let's hook this back to the negative again. We don't need all that cable out there yet. Going to hook into our negative. You can tell it's brand new. Alligator clips are nice. And it's not showing any power, so let's hook up our hot and our ground. Let's see if it's got power. May not. It's been sitting in my garage for a while. So dinner's ready, so I'll be back to you in just a minute. But you notice we've got power. So I can take my, right now it's showing no voltage. If I put this on here and this over here, I'm getting 12.4 volts. So there you go. It's kind of neat, showing no voltage. Okay, so let's take a break real quick and we'll go get some dinner and I'll be right back. So opening up the package, we see that we have a really nice little setup here. We've got our probe. It's got a nice little pointy end so that we can test our stuff. But we've got our main tester, our battery connections, excuse me, a whole bunch of cables so that you can hook these. Whoop, hold on, let me get them out of there. So you've got all that to go to your battery, so that definitely makes it really nice. Then of course you've got your negative lead and your connector. So it's a really simple process. When you're using it, you just hook it to a 12 volt battery, or your car battery I should say, like so. And it immediately comes on and shows you the power. So if you hook your ground up, I'm just going to connect it to the battery itself. But you can pick any ground that you're currently working with or what have you. So you got your working mode switch right here, so you can go up and down on the different things you want to check. We're going to check voltage, so all we do is we touch it onto our, since we've already got our ground, we touch it onto our positive post, and we've got 12.4 volts. So that tells us this battery is good. The other battery that I had here before, I tested it, and it was dead. So it definitely needs to be charged up. Switch up to the next one. Yeah, we're getting our volts. Voila. Then you've got your on-off LED switch. Oop. Turns on and boom, you're good to go. So one of the features this thing offers is not just the voltage testing, but you could also check continuity. So let's put this on the hot. Oop. No, it doesn't like that at all because it knows this is a ground, so we don't want to mess with that. We'll end up messing up our tester. So if you've got a fuse in line with this hooked up, let's say, and you want to check your voltage on the other end of a fuse, maybe you think it's burned, you would whoop, got a nice little clamp on it that's got a little bit of grip too, so that's always good. So you would have your line going through your fuse, and then you just touch this on the other end of the fuse, and you'll either have power or not, so that'll help you be able to test that fuse. So you've got, do I have voltage at a light socket would be another way to do it. So you've got your grounded, and then you just touch it on the one side, and you should show voltage with the lights on, and if you don't, then you know it's no good. Do I have voltage at a motor? You could check that. So there's a lot of things that you can do with it. It could also verify polarity. So if you touch the positive here, of course we know that we saw the 12 volts, but let's say we go over to the other side, it'll tell you we're shorting out, and so we know our polarity's off there. So there's one side and the other. That can help you understand what you're touching. Is it hot? Is it negative? Is there a ground? Is there no signal? What have you? So you know that you can start following that circuit until you find out where that problem's at, and boom, you can solve it. So let's talk about grounds. A lot of cars, there is an issue. Let's say it won't turn over, or something's not working properly. That can be a ground. So a simple connection like this, and then touching the body of the car, is going to show you that continuity to verify that your grounds are good. That's a really good feature. You need to know that your grounds are good. So, like say for your instance, your engine to body, your negative to the body on your battery terminal, all that kind of thing, you can check with this and know for sure that it's good. You can check for corrosion issues, loose connections, and that type of thing. You can look for bad body grounds, like I was saying. You can look for broken wires. You can just check for that poor engine ground. You know, if the component receives no power, but it doesn't have a proper return path, so you've got the power going in and no way to go back out, then of course you're going to have an issue. So that's really, really simple. So we can check any side of a circuit and assume that it's good or bad based on that. So one of the other things it can do diode testing. It can do a resistance check. So you can see the resistance and the wiring going from point A to point B. You can test diodes. But one of the really cool things that I really like about these is the ability to check and see if you have power to something. Again, one of the really, really good features is component activation. So I got my fog light out of my truck. I haven't put it in yet. So I can pretend the light came out of the vehicle because it's not working. Is the light bad? And this will tell me. So we just put it on there. We know we've got, or it's actually got volts. Click on it, lights it up, and boom, you know that the component's good. So yeah, we know that we've got a complete circuit because we've got a green, and then boom, light on. That's kind of cool. To be able to do that on your components in the car will tell you, is it the wiring, is it the component, whatever I'm testing, I'll know by just running that little circuit, hooking it on there, and turning the power on, or putting the power to it, and lighting up that light. So it's definitely a really cool way to do it. One of the other things I want to do is I want to flip it to the other side. I'm not sure if this light bulb has a difference based on power. No, it doesn't. So one way is one way, and it doesn't matter which direction it's going to light up that light. So again, the fog light we know works. So if this light doesn't work and we've installed it in the vehicle, we can backtrack and say, hey, where's the problem in the wiring? So that's definitely a way to do it. And with this particular one, I've installed the pull switch in my truck because it didn't come one. I've got the wiring harness on both ends. Like I said, I've got this and then I've got the other end, so I'll be able to hook it together and I'll be able to go through and I'll know if there's a problem where in that circuit it has the problem. So definitely a really cool thing to do. Let's see, a short circuit can be one of those things. So short circuit could mean that you've got a bad ground, and I kind of demonstrated that with the battery. But let's say we touch it on this wire, we're green there, let's put power to it, and it'll tell us, oh, there's a problem. It's not lighting up. So short circuit is one of those things you really got to, it's probably one of the major things that you're chasing down in a car, and this tool can do that. It's something that would cause a fuse to keep blowing. Maybe a wire has rubbed through and and it's grounding out on the body or something of that nature. So instead of randomly pulling things apart, the tester gives us another way to help narrow down what's happening to that circuit. The important thing is to work methodically. Don't start moving wires randomly. Test sections of the circuit as you're going through. You could start at the battery, move down to the switch, move down to the wiring, move down to the other end of the circuit, and see if in fact, if you didn't have a connection here, we wouldn't get that signal to tell us that it was good. So we would know that we can narrow that problem down. So that definitely makes it really nice. So our next mode is continuity. So we can go continuity just like that. And we can see that we do have continuity just by lighting it up. Short circuits, all that kind of stuff. There's different modes, ohms, all that kind of fun stuff. Like this is an ohm test. So we can run an ohm test on this and know we've got continuity and we've got ohms. So it's a really, really good tool to have, and I think this one is $39. This $39 can save you a world of headaches. And VDIAGTOOL is one of the companies that sponsors me and sends me this stuff to check out. I've got their engine diagnostic tool, and it's stood up to the test of time, so it's definitely well worth buying one of these, because not only can you test the circuits, you can do a lot of things with that little circuit tester, but what's really nice about this is you can clip it on your battery, clip this on one end, and then you're freehand with the other one, so you're not taking two probes and trying to touch stuff. So it's definitely what makes it really nice. The nice thing about the LED light is that you can see it when you're underneath the dashboard or in a dark engine compartment or something of that nature. So this being lit up definitely helps you see things, as opposed to your regular meters where you're like, it's dark and you can't see anything. So this definitely helps. So again, you've got the test light that's got the probe and then the ground on the other end. So what makes this different than the test light is, look what we're able to do with one tool. We can test voltage, we can activate a component, we can check diodes, we can check ground, we can check resistance, we can check short circuits, we can verify polarity, and we've got the LED indicator with the built-in long work light and long cable to help us do everything we need to do. We've also got headlights, so we can actually see what we're doing while we're doing it. So if you're working in the dark, this is the way to have it. You turn that off. All you got to do is one long press on that, and boom, it turns on the lights. So this doesn't mean throw your old multimeter away. You want to keep that too, but that belongs in your toolbox because there's different rates of things that you can measure with it. So don't throw it away. This is an addition to that multimeter. But this gives you a good, fast, versatile diagnostic tool that can handle a lot of your everyday automotive circuit testing. I am not afraid of electrical, as you guys shouldn't be. With these types of tools and taking your time, you can actually break down what's really going on. So the reason I recommend this type of tool in your toolbox is I think it's the kind of purchase for $40 that makes sense. It really does. You need tools that increase what you're capable of doing, and this particular one really does that. It adds to what you can do. It's not just a test light, it's a test light plus plus plus. This is a really good product to use. And or voltmeter, you can find the problem and repair what actually failed. Here, that's what I'm all about here at Papa's Custom Cars, where we fix real problems and save real money. If this helped you out, hit that like button, subscribe to Papa's Custom Cars. Let me know in the comment, what's the hardest electrical problem you've ever had to track down? I know there's a bunch of them out there, so leave a comment, let people know, hey, this is what I found. If you've used one of these to trace it down, let everybody know, hey, this is how this helped me. I'll see you guys in the next video.